Welcome back to this webcast.
Episode 37.
Yay! Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Should we introduce ourselves?
Yeah, Ryan Seacrest.
Ryan Seacrest is here today. Wow, Ryan, thank you for joining us in the studio.
I am Pete.
You are Pete. Wow, so we have Ryan Seacrest and Pete.
No Thompson is.
Oh, just kidding. Noel Thompson is here, not Ryan Seacrest. And who are you, for real, if you're not Pete?
I am Pizza Brown.
Okay.
Pete what Brown?
Pizza Brown?
Pizza.
Cool. Pizza Brown, a.k.a. Jeff, the big Jeff stud over there. And who are you?
I'm Whitney.
Whitney's here!
Whitney's
Yay!
back.
Whitney's back.
Whitney and Pete.
Whitney and Pete right next to each other. Pete is out on assignment today, so shout out to our co-host Pete. Hope your assignment is lots of fun. And I'm Olivia, so thanks for tuning in.
Yeah.
We have some news. Our friend Noel went to the Special Olympics. And Noel, how'd you do? Drum roll.
Sixth place.
In what?
Sixth
place in
400 running.
the 400 meter dash.
Third place in the shot put.
Third place in the shot put.
And second place in the
200.
Yeah.
Right? Wow. You
Great
brought
job.
home some hardware. That's awesome.
Did you have fun?
Yeah. No, 400.
Okay. How was the dance? That's always the best
Really
part of the
good.
Special
And
Olympics.
speaking of the dance,
Oh,
Lucas found a new girlfriend at the dance.
Oh.
great. Good for him.
Yeah.
What else happened at the dance? Anything fun?
A lot of fun things.
Like what?
Getting jiggy with 1969.
The
No.
theme was 1969. Summer of 69.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you see any friends there that you know from Portland and Strive and stuff?
A couple.
Yeah. Did you miss your pal Jeff?
A
Semi.
little bit, but not over the hill.
But not over the hill. Never over the hill.
Have
So,
you ever done Special Olympics?
Ages ago.
No.
you used to do it a long time ago. Hey, did you see our former podcast guest, Lisa Bird?
Yeah.
Nice.
You saw her?
Yeah.
Did she remember you?
Yeah.
Did you say
Nice.
that?
No.
Why?
I did a little bit, but not a long conversation.
Cool. Well, that's nice. New
so
friends.
You've
Yes,
never
I
done the
did.
Special Olympics?
Like that. So.
It was just the winter and that was it.
Just the winter
What
ones?
did you do?
Yeah.
Did you do skiing?
Downhill skiing.
Nice,
Really?
Jeff.
Yeah.
I can't picture Jeff on
Me
skis. Do you like skiing?
Not very much.
No.
Does your mom have pictures?
But when I saw
Only
him,
my dad does.
when I was very little with my two teachers from a long time middle school.
Mm-hmm.
Not middle school, but before.
Elementary school.
Kathy Flanagan and Mrs. Gooch.
You saw them at the Special
But they
Olympics?
were my coaches. And me and Jeff were dancing in one of the rooms there.
Ooh, just the two of you? A private dance?
Was it a slow dance?
With my fast dance.
Oh,
okay.
fast dance. Whew.
To what song?
That
sounds
was when
romantic.
Jeff met my cousin Joey Harrison.
Well, we are really just telling an old tale here. Do you remember this at all, Jeff?
No, I don't.
Okay.
It's because it was a long time
It
ago.
was a long time ago,
You
yeah.
don't remember that?
I don't.
Does Noel have a better memory than you?
No.
Okay.
Obviously he does.
Well, we checked in with Noel about Special Olympics. Jeff, how are you doing? What's going on in your life?
Not too much.
Not too much?
No.
Did you do anything fun over this past weekend?
No.
Were you with your parents?
I
What'd you do with them?
don't know.
So people are listening to this podcast and they want to hear you talk about stuff that's interesting.
Did you go to the Allport Festival, Jeff, with your parents or with your other half? I mean,
His brother?
Yeah.
What is he, married to his brother? Jeff, did you go to the Old Port Festival or no?
it was the last one.
Okay.
I did not.
Okay. Whitney and I did, and we saw each other there, and that was fun. So
Last one.
missed
R.I.P.
it. R.I.P. OPF. So this has been truly a fascinating intro. You know, if you've made it this far, thanks for listening, I
We
guess.
should probably just move on.
I think let's move on to
Yeah.
taking a break. So when we come back, Oh, well, we didn't even introduce the guest, so why don't we do that?
Yeah.
Our guests today are from the Portland Disability Advisory Council. We have Mandy Levine, Ken Shapiro, and Strive's own Haley Pass. Haley's going to join us by phone. We're going to talk all about what the Portland Disability Advisory Council does, how they help the city of Portland to be more inclusive to people with disabilities and things like that.
Oh, that means she's not working here today. Because she's from Strive.
Yeah, she's not here today.
Yeah, she's over the phone. So, when we come back, Noel will give the bio for those folks in the Portland Disability Advisory Council, and then we'll get to the interview. So we'll be right back. All right, we're back, and here's Noel with a bio for our guests from the Portland Disability Advisory Committee.
Mandy Levine works for the City of Portland Human Resources Department. Mandy helps with all things,
Inclusion.
including making sure the City of Portland's employees are treated fairly, no matter their race, gender, disability, or age. Mandy oversees the Portland Disability Advisory Council, which advises the City of Portland manager on issues that are important to people with disabilities. The committee includes many people with and without disabilities. Strive owns Haley Pass is their chair of the group and attends monthly meetings. Ken Shapiro is the vice chair representing UNUM. Mandy, Haley, and Ken are our guests today. Please welcome
Mandy.
Mandy, Haley, and Ken from the Portland Disability Advisory Council.
Yay! Welcome, guys.
Thank you so much.
Of course. Thanks for coming on the Strivecast. We appreciate it.
So Jeff, you have the first
Jeff has the first question today.
Can you tell us about the council? What do you do?
I'm happy to give a high-level overview of
Sure.
what the committee does. So the Portland Disability Advisory Committee, or we sometimes just call it PDAC, which is a little bit easier to say. PDAC advises the city manager on a bunch of different issues that are of importance to individuals with disabilities, and also makes policy and practice and legislative recommendations to the City of Portland's city manager on a bunch of different matters that affect individuals with disabilities that reside in our city, that visit our city, that own businesses in our city.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's really exciting. And you
Important
guys
work.
Yeah, it really is. And you guys have meetings, right, that you attend. Is it monthly?
Yes.
Yeah, it's every month.
Currently it's monthly, and we're looking to maybe restructure it potentially for next year to have longer meetings a little less frequently, so we can do a deeper dive into some projects that we want to work on.
Cool. That's really exciting. Noel, you are up next.
How and when did you all join the council? Do you get elected?
Yeah.
Sure. This is Ken. Should I say my name every time?
No.
I was fortunate enough a few years ago that Mandy kind of did a blanket call for participants in the council, and she specifically came to UNUM, which is a disability insurance company where I work. She was hoping that we could have some representation from insurance companies in the area. I happen to be the leader of our, what we call Ability Employee Resource Group. So that's a volunteer organization within the company that supports other employees with disabilities and also tries to educate the company on our customer base in a lot of ways, as we have valuable insight and expertise on a subject that's pretty important to our business. So I feel like I'm kind of a triple threat.
Yeah, totally.
My disability is related to brain hemorrhage and stroke that I had about 9 years ago. Actually looking forward to being able to say 10 years ago.
10 years ago now, yeah. Wow. That's awesome. Haley, how long have you been on the committee for?
I think 3 years.
3 years? That's awesome.
Yeah.
What about you, Mandy?
I have been, so I'm the staff member at the City of Portland who staffs the committee. So since I started at the city 2 years ago, and Haley and Ken aren't bragging, but Haley is our chairperson and Ken is our vice chairperson. So they are critical components of our committee.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Great.
And do you do you have to get like elected to be on the board? Is it voting, or is that just for the chair and vice chair positions?
In the sense that we raised our hands
Right.
and said, how do people feel about Haley and Ken being chair and vice chair?
Gotcha.
We were elected, but it wasn't a big
Yeah.
fight.
And the other members actually get, so everybody has to be appointed by the city manager. So every fall, and we'll be doing it again this fall, people will actually apply. So we'll put a membership application up online, people apply, and then we at the city review all of those applications. We often will interview people, and then folks are chosen. We typically have 10 or 11 members who are chosen, appointed by the city manager to be on the committee.
And do all people on the committee have a disability of some sorts, or are some not? Do some people not have disabilities? Most do, yeah.
I mean, that's a good question. It's one of the things that we struggle with, and any conversation about disability butts up against, you don't know who has a disability and who doesn't. That we have people who have what would be termed more visible disabilities than others.
Yeah.
Some of our council members are in wheelchairs or scooters or have prosthetic limbs. And I walk with a cane, but often feel like I need to explain to people that even though I have mobility issues and am visibly disabled in that way, the cause of my disability is hidden in my brain, and so it often requires explanation.
Yeah, that's so interesting. Well, it's such a great committee, and I actually came to a meeting once. I was kind of hiding in the back. I brought Haley over, and I was just checking it out, and I really enjoyed sitting through it. So it's really, really cool what you guys do.
Thank you.
Jeff, you're up next.
What are some things you have worked on for the city of Portland?
Haley, do you want to take a pass at that?
Yeah, one of the things we worked on was something called closed captioning.
Ooh.
Mandy, want to take over?
Sure thing. Yeah, so about a year ago, we did a closed captioning educational campaign, and we wanted to highlight we've got about almost 2,000 places of public accommodation in the city of Portland. Things like restaurants and bars and gyms, all the sorts of places you might go to that are open to the public that have TVs on. We wanted to highlight the many benefits of keeping closed captioning on at all times on at least one television. And it's not only for the deaf and the hard of hearing. There's a lot of benefits for people who are English language learners, for kids who are learning to read, anybody learning to read. So what we did is we put together, we thought, some really nice materials. It was a little cardstock one pager and then a longer letter that educated different places of public accommodation, and then we mailed those out all throughout the city of Portland to really provide some prompting and some education about the benefits of being more inclusive and keeping those on, and received a nice response to that. Yeah,
amazing.
so
What
that
a
was
cool
a big
project.
one. Yeah, that was a great project.
That's
That was a great one that we did.
Are there any others you want to share, or we can move on up to you guys?
What do you guys think?
Well, we've been consulting with an engineering or architecture firm that's been evaluating city-owned property for accessibility. And I mean, it's always interesting to me how, I mean, thanks to the ADA, the Americans with Disabilities Act, there are a lot of requirements and guidelines for how to make buildings and our cities more accessible for people with physical disabilities. But a lot of the people in charge of adhering to those guidelines don't necessarily have the perspective of having a disability themselves, so I think that's something we can bring to the table, and that's really nice to be able to take. And like I was saying, this is something I feel like I can do it at work as well, that I can take my own personal experience in an area that people would often consider a deficit and turn it into an asset.
Yeah, absolutely. That's so cool. You guys really do such important and really cool work.
Thank you.
So
Yeah, and next summer, just an early plug,
Yeah.
is next summer will be the 30th anniversary of the ADA.
Wow.
Oh.
So that's at the Passage, which was in 1990. So that's something that we hope this upcoming year will be undertaking some projects to really celebrate that huge civil
Great.
rights legislation passage. Yeah, we're excited about that.
we'll be celebrating too.
Important group, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You are up, sir.
What is one of the biggest issues facing people with disability in Portland?
Yeah, or if there's more than one, you can elaborate on those too.
Haley, you can't see me nodding. Do you want to take a go at that?
Yeah, I can't think of one off the top of my head though.
Yeah, I could think of something. And what we often get stuck on, both literally and figuratively, in our conversations has to do with Portland as a historic city. So especially when we talk about that accessibility question, the topic of potholes and sidewalks that are falling apart and just cobblestone
Yeah.
streets in general are challenging for somebody who's in a wheelchair, whether it's powered and especially if it's not, and if somebody walks but with some balance issues, there are problems there. There are differences in our seasons. We have unique challenges in the winter where the sidewalks
Right.
suddenly become much narrower than they had. You have to be very careful of snowbanks and ice, certainly. And then in the summer, in the tourist
Right.
season, suddenly the sidewalks become narrower
Right.
because there are a lot
Seems
of
like that's already started.
yeah, pop-up cafes.
Right, the
Yeah.
tables are further and further
Right.
out on the
Yeah.
sidewalks and the chairs.
Yeah.
And,
So
yeah.
fortunately, that's something we can give some advice to the city about how to police. It's not our role to police them, but it's our role to educate.
You guys are both downtown a lot. Do you think that's an issue? The sidewalks and stuff
They get pretty slippery in the city too, right?
in the winter?
Yeah.
Yeah, also in the winter.
Yeah. I know when I picked you up, you've had to walk, kind of way into the street just to get to my car to get around snowbanks and stuff. And it has not been very safe.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
Yeah, I didn't
No.
like it either. So, all right. I think Jeff is up next.
What is your favorite part about
That's not
being
Being.
being on the council?
Ooh. Anybody have any favorite things they want to share? Favorite parts?
I personally love being on the council because of the people who are involved in it. The members of PDAC and the people who attend our meetings. It's a really remarkable group of people who have had tremendously different life experiences and have different perspectives and different challenges. And I think we come together with this common goal of being more inclusive of disabled individuals. And there's a lot of passion around the topic, so I really like hanging out with the people who are on the committee. It's a great group.
Yeah, I absolutely agree, and it's an opportunity to make a difference in a way that we wouldn't otherwise. I mean, Mandy is a great advocate for all this work, and apparently very scary to some people as a representative of diversity and inclusion in Portland. But you need that heavy hand sometimes to help everyone understand the value of varied perspectives, because it's very easy to get stuck in your own narrow worldview.
Totally. Absolutely. Haley, what's your favorite part of being on the committee?
I think my favorite part of being on the committee is getting to have a say in making a difference.
Absolutely. That's a really great way of saying that, Haley. You guys make a really big difference, so you do an awesome job. Noel, it is your turn.
What is one thing you wish other knew about people with disabilities?
Is there something you wish like people could know about having a disability, or knowing someone, or anything about disabilities in general?
That's a great question.
I think we've actually made great strides in we did a public service announcement series talking about some of that, and I think for me it's that having a disability doesn't mean that your life is sad, and people don't need to pity you for what you experience, and I think we all represent that really well. That everyone has challenges different from others, and we've all found unique ways to overcome them.
Yeah, absolutely. What about you, Haley? Is there something you wish people knew about people with disabilities?
Well, I think Ken said it for me.
Yeah, you agree with Ken?
Sorry.
Yeah. It's all good.
And we talk a lot too in our committee about how many individuals might have invisible disabilities, like Ken was saying earlier. And so when you meet someone, we often make assumptions about them, and we don't really know what might be going on beneath the surface. And so recognizing, like Ken just said very beautifully, that so many people have different challenges and many of which we're not aware of.
Yeah.
So it's a very universal topic
Totally.
in many ways.
Noel, you and Pete were just talking to Pete's son's Cub Scout group, right?
About disabilities.
About disabilities. Didn't you guys talk about something about invisible disabilities too?
Yeah.
What was that about? Do you remember what you guys said? You said a celebrity.
Peter was talking more about that.
Yeah. But remember, you were telling me about like a celebrity he named.
Oh, the guy who played Harry Potter.
He has a disability?
Yeah.
What is it? Do you know what it is?
I don't know.
But right, but no.
But epilepsy.
He has epilepsy.
No,
I didn't know that.
Gomez.
Oh, Selena Gomez. She has epilepsy?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't, necessarily assume she has a disability by looking at her.
Yeah.
But everybody's got something going on, right? And you never know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's a great answer.
All right, big question.
Yeah.
How is Portland doing on
Inclusion.
Yes.
inclusion
Compare.
compared to other cities?
Yeah, is Portland doing well compared to other cities, or are we
Well,
falling
that's definitely
behind?
on Mandy.
I'm sure
Her pay is dependent on.
my title actually has that in it, so I'd like to think so.
Right.
So I think defining inclusion really broadly, I'd like to say a very resounding yes. My position in particular was created a couple years ago, which is the diversity and inclusion specialist. So I work mostly with our staff, but I get to do a lot of outward-facing work around the ADA and things like that. And I think we're tremendously committed to making it an inclusive city, whether you're defining inclusive as including individuals with disabilities or different races or national origins and different abilities generally. We're working and striving really hard to become more inclusive. This Saturday, we're going to have over 100 city staff members and their family members marching in the Pride Parade. So we're really, I spent the morning building our float. It's mine and my jeans. So in many different respects, we're very much committed to being an inclusive city, and I'd like to think we're doing a really great job of it.
Seems like it.
I think so too. I mean, we have,
If only we could get Northern Maine to accept that Portland is actually part of Maine.
and I think Portland is like, not Massachusetts. I think Portland is amazing because you can walk down the street and we see tons of our Strive participants, just like you and your friends. You guys live right in the heart of Portland, and you independently, live there on your own and hang out and access the city and all the places you want to go. And you don't often see that in a lot of other cities, especially where
That's
grew
great.
up.
Just being visible in that way and showing you can be independent is educating
Absolutely.
others and eliminating stigmas and shame that shouldn't exist in the first place, but it's a cultural challenge we face, and I think that's one of the goals of the council as well, to eliminate as much as possible the stigma surrounding disability, so people with disabilities feel comfortable talking about their experiences, and so others won't judge them.
Yeah, absolutely. Noel, I think you have the last one here.
Does the council have any exciting upcoming events or projects?
Anything big coming up for you guys?
Well, I think we gave a little sneak preview when we were talking about next summer that we'll be focusing on the 30th anniversary of the passage of the ADA, and actually next Thursday we are doing the 4th and final speaker series presentation. So over the past several months, we've had a bunch of really notable speakers come and talk. These are free presentations open to the public, held at City Hall, about different issues of importance to not only disabled individuals, but also the elderly. And so we have someone coming next Thursday to speak about understanding Alzheimer's and dementia. So that's our last of the speaker series. And then I think we're going to take a little bit of a break over the summer while we regroup and start launching our ideas for next year.
Cool.
Yeah.
Great. That's really exciting. Well, those
All
were
right.
the formal questions.
Everybody's
Uh-oh.
favorite
Yeah.
segment.
Sweeping the nation. It is the lightning round.
Lightning round.
Nervous and excited for
Light
this.
round.
There you go. Thanks, Jeff. Thanks for chiming in.
Favorite
Go ahead. Yeah, Noel's going to start us off. Go ahead.
favorite U.S. city besides Portland?
You have a favorite city besides Portland?
I used to live in Providence, Rhode Island.
Ooh.
Enjoyed being there.
Yeah, that's a great one. What about you, Haley? Do you have a favorite city in the U.S. that's not Portland?
Probably Orlando, Florida.
Ooh, good
that's
one.
fun.
Great choice, Haley.
I'd say San Francisco. My brother used to live there, and I used to love traveling and visiting him there. So
Cool.
that's a neat city.
All right, Jeff.
Oceans or mountains?
Ocean or mountains?
Depends how I get there. I like being on a mountain, but it would take so long for me to climb anything that I don't know if I'd be happy by the time I got there.
Get ready to go down.
I'll say ocean.
Yeah.
Reminds me of Maine home.
Yeah. What about you, Haley?
I'd say mountain.
Ooh, very nice. Noel?
Yeah. How many cups of coffee do you drink per day?
Per day.
My answer is too many.
Yeah.
Probably at least 3.
Nice.
How about you? Ken?
Given the nap I have to take at the end of every day, probably not enough. One very large one.
Yeah. Perfect.
Which is probably like 2 normal.
Haley, I know you love coffee.
Yes.
How many do you drink a day?
Probably 2.
2. Nice. Good number.
Jeff?
What is your perfect temperature?
Perfect temperature.
63.
Ooh.
I was 65.
Whoa.
Low humidity.
Yeah. Low humidity is key.
Haley?
Probably the same answer as Mandy.
Nice. 65. Very good choices.
Yeah.
Noel?
Favorite place in Portland?
Your favorite place? Usually we ask favorite restaurant, but this could really be even
favorite
if,
place.
you know, it's park, beach, anything.
Restaurant.
Restaurants. I
So
love
many
restaurants.
places. I love the park in the East End,
Yeah.
overlooking the ocean. I
Yeah.
think it's just the prettiest vantage point in Portland. So I'd say that.
Yeah.
Flatbread pizza.
Yes. Great choice. Haley, do you have a favorite place in Portland to go to?
Yeah, I'd say Buckley.
Bug Light. Very
Oh,
nice.
Yeah.
So pretty over there. Jeff?
Favorite junk food?
Favorite junk food.
boy.
Kettle corn.
Ooh,
Nice.
love it. What about you, Mandy?
Those tubs of chocolate cat cookies from Trader Joe's.
Oh.
I can polish one of those off with help in one sitting.
I don't know
If you
what
haven't
that
tried
is.
them, they are amazing.
They're so
What are they
They're kind of
called?
like graham.
They're like
cracker,
little
right?
grams and they're chocolate and they're called cat cookies, but not meant for cat to eat. And they're semi-healthy, but not when you eat the whole thing.
Right.
Animal crackers,
Yes,
but all
but
cats.
chocolate, and they're cat shaped.
They're so good.
Haley,
about
what's
you,
your
Haley?
favorite junk?
Chocolate.
Any chocolate? Great answer.
Yeah.
What about you?
What?
Favorite junk food?
I know your favorite junk food.
My favorite junk food is chicken.
No, your favorite junk food is Oreo cookies.
Oh,
Oh yeah, Oreo cookies.
Those are pretty good.
What's your favorite
Fried.
junk food? Yeah, fried Oreos.
Coconut
Coconut what?
pie.
Coconut pie.
It was healthy till the
Yeah.
pie.
Finish that sentence.
No.
What?
Chocolate candy.
Chocolate candy is your favorite junk food?
Yeah.
Nice. Where'd coconut pie come from?
I don't know.
Right, you're up.
NSYNC or Backstreet Boys?
Ooh,
Oh,
classic
boy.
90s duel. Haley, you want to go first? NSYNC or Backstreet Boys?
Backstreet Boys.
Backstreet Boys. Jeff and Noel are nodding in approval.
Oh, we've got,
Susie.
yeah, we got hand pumping going on.
Yes, I like Backstreet.
Big fans in this room.
Backstreet Boys for me too. They're having a resurgence. So.
That's right.
Yeah.
We have a couple people in this room going to that.
Coming to Boston.
Are you going?
Bam!
And so is
Awesome.
Jeff.
Are they
Are you
still
going to
touring
the
with
show?
New Kids?
I think so.
Oh,
I think
no,
they
that's
are.
like the double header.
Yeah.
Of,
Is someone
That
coming with them when they come in concert? Do you know?
What?
Is someone like opening for them when they come in concert?
No.
No, it's
No?
just them.
just them.
Yeah.
Do you need a friend to come?
Yeah. You want Mandy to go with you?
Let me know if you have an
Oh,
extra
I love your
ticket.
sister, right?
Have my sister coming.
That's right.
If she doesn't go,
Yeah, you know who
I'll
to
be
call.
your
If she's
backup
sick.
Backstreet
She will
Boy
come.
fan.
Yeah, exactly.
She will come. I know.
And we are staying in a hotel
That is
Oh,
so
wow.
fun.
with open pool.
Oh, wow. Big plans.
That's awesome.
Yes. How come you haven't invited me? Just kidding.
Say girl.
Sorry, girl. What about you, Ken? You're an NSYNC or Backstreet Boys guy?
And if neither is the answer, that's
That's
okay
awesome.
too.
That's
I
allowed.
love Justin Timberlake on his own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Christina
did
Rita.
not like NSYNC, but I was never into them.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I might be the only NSYNC person.
and
in this
speaking of Justin,
room. What?
Whenever we have this question, we go very
Yeah, in depth.
a long time ago, several summers ago, on the way to see my sister Holly, I stopped in a frozen yogurt shop, and I saw him.
Really?
Getting
You
a
did
frozen-
not,
In
really?
California?
No,
Where
New
was
York
it?
City.
In New York City.
Oh, wow.
Very
Did you
cool.
say anything to him?
Yes, I did.
Say, I love you, Justin Timberlake?
No.
Did you say, I'm a big Backstreet Boys fan?
I said to Justin, I kept it secret because to let him do his thing.
Oh, yes.
I said, I listen to you all the time, and he's a nice man.
That's nice.
Yeah.
What a fun encounter.
That's cool. You
Is
should
that
have
a
done your
true story?
picture taken with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If he wasn't had a bouncer with him.
Oh.
Very busy. That's a true story? You didn't
Yeah.
just fudge that? Cool.
All right.
Moving right along. So
You're
we've gone
up,
with that
sir.
for a long time.
Facebook or Instagram?
You have a preference?
Facebook.
Facebook.
Facebook for me too. Kind of a love-hate relationship. I
Yeah.
try to get off of it and then I keep going back on. But definitely Facebook.
What about you, Haley?
Instagram.
Instagram.
Nice.
Me too.
We're too old for Instagram.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how good of a singer you are?
Are you? How good of a singer are you? Haley, you want to start it off? Scale of 1 to 10. Where does your singing rate?
A 5.
A 5. She's honest. It's okay. What about you guys?
3.
3?
I'm solidly a 0.
We've asked these two to rate themselves, and they both rated themselves above 10.
Oh,
So, this one
wow.
was
Do
a
we get to
50.
hear that?
Yeah, we could. We
We'd
could
love
do a little
yeah?
off-air concert. If
That
you
would
want
be
when we're
fun.
done.
Can
Yeah.
two because my skill will be a 10 for
Your
me.
skill would be a 10%.
Nice.
All right.
I am so good.
9.5.
I'd love to hear it.
All right, last one. Jeff, bring it home.
Tell us about your best joke.
Oh,
Tell us your
gosh.
best joke. You guys have any good jokes to share?
Since, I don't know, my kids were little, so it'd be a knock-knock joke.
We love
Knock,
knock-knock
knock.
jokes here. Who's there?
Interrupting cow.
Interrupting
Interrupting
cat.
That's great.
That's a good one.
Boo.
Take
Classic.
the cow to the movies.
Yeah, take your cow.
I've got a blank slate. I can't think of a single joke right now. I'm
That
trying to
is
think of one of my kids'
A-okay.
jokes, and I can't.
Haley, do you have any good jokes you like to tell?
I can't think of any right now.
That's okay.
It's hard when you're on the spot.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
You want to tell a joke, Noel?
Not really.
Jeff,
I
you got one, Susie?
Yes, I do.
Go ahead.
What time did the how you throw out your butter out the window?
What time do you throw your butter out the window?
Yes,
What time?
it's see a butterfly. Get it?
Oh, you see your butterfly.
Yeah.
Wow.
Very good.
Do you have a joke?
No.
Who's there?
Corn.
Corn who?
You eat the corn.
Thank you.
We're still working on our punchline.
Yeah, we're gonna get
If you
there.
have us back someday, we will be well prepared with a bag of jokes for you.
Perfect. That
I have
sounds
a
great.
joke to make.
Oh, let's
All
go,
right.
Ryan. Tell us.
Come on, Ryan.
What time is the best time to go to a dentist appointment?
What
What
time?
time?
2:30.
Oh,
That's good.
Oh,
Okay. Our last question is not written down on your guys' pages, but we've been working on a little segment that we do where Jeff and Noel say the first word that comes to mind, and you pick which word you like better. But to make sure we say appropriate words, we've chosen them ahead of time.
Got it.
So the words this week that they came up with were Strive U, which
And
is
Bumblebee.
and Bumblebee. So Strive U, our college program, or Bumblebee. You can choose which one you like better.
I say strive you.
Great choice.
So excited to be here.
Yeah.
oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Bumblebee happens to be one of my favorite words.
Perfect.
Well, just Bumble, I just like.
Yeah.
And I love watching bumblebees.
Yeah. What about you, Haley? Bumblebee or Strive U? Which one?
Strive.
Strive U. Great choices all around. Well, those were all the questions that we had. So just want to say thank you guys so much for coming on the Strive cast. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having
Thank
us.
you.
This was so much fun.
It was really great learning about all that you do in
I
the
agree.
city. And
It's amazing work, and I hope to be back to another meeting soon. I'll sneak in the back again
We
while
would
Haley's
love
there.
that. Thank you for having us.
Of course. Okay, well, we will be right back.
Strivecast is brought to you by
Listeners like you.
Listeners like you. And this week we are shouting out who, Whitney?
I thought we were just gonna do our general audience.
I think that's a great idea.
37 episodes.
I
You
know.
guys keep listening for some reason.
For some reason, you keep tuning into this podcast. So we just want to thank everybody who's stuck
Special
with
Olympics.
us this far, and who also cheers on folks at the Special Olympics. That's right. So really, just thanks to everybody who listens to the Strivecast. We really appreciate it. Jeff and Noel, you guys appreciate it too, right? That
Oh,
people
yeah.
download the episodes and listen to it and hear you guys. It's delicious.
Yes.
So shout out to listeners like you who's listening to this right now.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
We'll be right back. All right, we're back, and it's time for the
Question of the week.
Wikis.
the question of the week.
Week. La 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 la. Week.
Oh, la la la, week. So the question of the week this week is, if you could form your own committee, like the Portland Disability Advisory Committee, if you could have your own committee, gather a group of people together and talk about something, what would your committee talk about? Jeff, would you like to go first?
Yes.
What would your committee be about?
It'll be about things about Whitney.
It would be things about Whitney. And what would the committee talk about Whitney?
Appropriate things.
Appropriate things.
Yes.
Yes. What would it be?
Great personality.
Great personality, yeah.
It's just gonna be a room of people that like Whitney and
I am.
talk
Can I be the
about
chair
how
of the committee, please?
How she is social
Mm-hmm.
and how her life is be.
Mm-hmm. How her life is be. Yeah. I would love to be the chair of this committee, like the president, because I'm Whitney's biggest fan. Can I be?
No.
No, so you are the chair? Can I be the vice chair?
Right.
Okay,
You can
cool.
be the biggest man.
Thank you. I would love to be the biggest man. That is such a
committee
compliment.
of Whitney.
Yeah. Thanks, Noel. So,
Thanks, Jeff.
great committee choice, Jeff. Noel, if you could make a committee, what would it be about? What would it talk about?
How to be a great typewriter.
How to be a great typewriter.
To make a story.
Oh, so you'd get a bunch of like writers together
Yes.
and write stories on typewriters?
Mysteries.
Mystery novel. So it'd be a committee of mystery novel writers.
Yeah.
What's your mystery novel about? Okay, I'll give you the scene. It's a dark alleyway
Yeah. Oh.
deep in the Bronx.
Oh yeah.
If you can polish anything, like a detective book.
Detective book, like our guest that we had many weeks ago, Bruce Coffin.
Yeah.
Remember when we interviewed him?
To deliver Duck Vader.
Darth Vader.
Duck
Vader. Is that like the Disney version? No. Okay. Neat stuff, guys. Would you form a committee for anything?
You know, I'm on a lot of committees here.
You are.
at Strive,
Correct.
So I don't know if I have
Room
for anyone.
Yeah, no, we're on many committees here, such as the auction committee where we plan Strive's auction, the Strive Rocks planning committee where we plan our Strive Rocks fundraiser, 20th anniversary committee. It's a lot. Steering committee.
A whole bunch.
Yeah, we also have the advisory board for Strive Night, where we meet with Strive Night members to talk about theme nights. So
Were
we
you guys on the
Bonica.
Strive
25?
25
Yeah.
committee?
Yeah.
Are you still on that?
Me and Jeff and
I
Caroline.
don't know.
You are. Cool. So those are our committees. Great segment.
Can't wait to go to mine.
Yeah, me too.
You're very welcome.
Whitney. Okay, this is getting weird. All right, we will be right back.
Because it's brought to you by.
Joe Caesar salad.
Joe's Caesar salad.
So good.
So good. Nice and healthy today.
We thought we'd go off the sandwich,
Yeah.
watch our carb intake.
Totally. Always good to watch your carb intake and, opt for a salad sometimes. Joe's Caesar salad was super great. The croutons were, the perfect touch. Really liked the Parmesan cheese. It
And
really...
they were fried too.
I don't know that there was anything fried in the salad because it was
Grilled
very healthy. Grilled chicken was a great addition. I hear you can also substitute salmon. It's really just great all around. So
Should've
shout
done
out
that.
to our sponsor, Joe. Jeff, you want to say something?
Hi, Joe.
I love salmon.
Oh, good. I'm
Did you
glad
get that on your salad today?
What do you know? You
Yeah.
were in a salmon factory with.
You got salmon yesterday. I cooked it this morning.
Yeah.
So you also love salmon. Wow, a room full of salmon lovers.
Love it.
So shout out to Joe, our consistent sponsor of the Strivecast. But of course, if you would like to take Joe's place, which you can, we would love to have you advertise here on the Strivecast. So all you need to do is send us an email to strivecast@pslstrive.org, and we'd love to promote your business or brand or whatever you're looking to market here on the Strivecast. You can't get two better spokespeople than Jeff and Noel. Honestly, they do a great job selling your product. So great. Advertise with us.
Very
Thanks.
excited, enthusiastic.
Totally. Thanks, Joe.
And I work in
Thank
a
you,
salmon factory.
Joey.
Thanks, Joe.
I have a wife
Thank you,
and a-
Joey.
Thanks,
Thank you, Joey. Thank you, Joey.
Say thanks,
Did you know that Jeff's on a nickname basis with Joe? He's calling him Joey.
Joey. Okay. Thanks, Joe.
Thanks, Joe.
Okay, we'll be
Thanks,
right back.
Joey.
All right, we're back and it's time for the...
Words of wisdom.
What's our wisdoms?
Words of wisdom.
Wisdom.
And it's about science.
Correct. Today's words of wisdom. We were just chatting about this off the air. Jeff and Noel were spitting all kinds of facts at us. So let's each of you tell us one fact that's related to science or one fact that you know about the world. Ready? Jeff, go.
Oil.
What about it?
What about it?
You don't want to mix oil
With what?
with monoxide.
Monoxide.
Right. That's what I said.
Because what happens if you mix
He goes
oil?
right, that's what I
yeah,
said.
yeah. Oil and monoxide. What happens if you mix
Start a
them?
fire.
It will explode.
Is that true?
Is that true?
Where did you learn that?
Who taught you that?
I did.
Okay.
Yes. And you don't want to mix it either, because if you mix it in the wrong way, it will make a big giant explosion. It will blow up this rooftop.
Okay, we're gonna fact check that.
While Noel goes.
My science is it's about a tree and lights. Don't forget to turn off your Christmas tree lights. If you leave it on, you hear the fire.
It's true. That can happen if you leave your Christmas lights on.
I don't know if that's really science, though.
These facts are subject to not being true. So just
What
don't
about-
take these as
What
law.
about don't
That's not science, dude.
don't put salt and vinegar together?
Why? What happened?
Because it will explode.
Oh.
Do you say salt and vinegar?
Like a volcano.
I don't know if it's salt and vinegar that does that. Though.
Well, maybe we'll do some more research for next week's Words of Wisdom and revise our science facts.
Can you guys tell us facts about animals? Can you tell me an animal fact? Go ahead,
I
Jeff.
had to blow up in there.
Yes, I can. Elephant.
Tell
What
me
about
something about an elephant.
He starts off with
I know, with
just
the
the subject.
theme. Yeah.
Elephant. I can see and hear other animals in the savannah.
Is it because they have huge ears?
Yeah.
Wow. Good fact.
Great. That's a good.
Noel, can you tell us an animal fact?
Okay.
Okay.
It's a strange animal.
Okay.
If you add liquid to an animal and you put like hot baking soda and biosphere together.
You just wanted to say biosphere, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I think it's about time to
wrap
to
this
wrap
up.
it up.
Yeah.
Why don't you guys do some research on a real fact that you
And then
can
come
share
back
next
to us.
week?
Okay?
Yeah.
How's
All
that?
right.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. We will be right back. All right, we're back and it's time to
Wrap it up!
Wrap, dum, did up, need 'em, dum,
Wrap it up!
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. What's that? I don't know what that is. Okay. Well, it is time to
Beans and records.
Oh, he was spinning some records. Thank you. We are wrapping it up here on the Strivecast, episode 37 in the books. How do you think it went, guys? Was it fun?
Delicious.
Awesome!
Delicious and awesome. Let's see what they thought. Ready? Say the first word that comes to mind when we get to 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Bugapoo.
That's not English.
Wallet.
Wallet. This episode was Bugapoo and wallet. I'm
What
so
does
glad
that
I
mean,
asked.
Noel?
Yeah, is that a word? Did you make it up?
I mean it.
So well done, everybody involved. Thank you so much to Mandy, Haley, and Ken for joining us from the Portland Disability Advisory Council. That was an awesome interview. So great to chat with them all.
Does she eat candy?
Because her name's Mandy. Well,
Like
I don't know. I should
Moore
ask.
and candy?
So thanks so much to them for joining us. Thanks so much for Whitney for sliding into the host chair. Did a great job, Whit.
Oh, thanks.
Anytime.
Thanks for having me.
Shout out to our producer Susie, always keeping us on track and in the books.
And also with Pete and Whitney.
Thanks to
What a-
Pete, who was on assignment. And
Yeah.
as always, shout out to Ryan, our engineer.
Ryan
Big
Parker!
Ryan Taylor.
Brian Parker.
What about that song? Oh, Mandy.
So thanks to all those people. And again, thanks to you, the listeners, for always tuning into the Strivecast. We really appreciate it, and it means a lot to us that you like to listen to this show. So thanks so much.
Drink to the heart on Mandy.
Anything else we want to share before we get going?
No, I'm good.
Not candy.
You're good? Okay, no candy. All right, thanks everyone. Goodbye.
Bye.